Eminem is arguably the greatest rapper of all time, and many other artists have agreed after speaking on Eminem, as even 50 Cent, who's had a friendship that's lasted over 2 decades with Eminem, even signed to Eminem's record label titled Shady Records. From becoming friends in the early 2000s to even performing at Super Bowl 56 together, 50 Cent has had a lot to share about Eminem's unbelievable music career, as he even hopped on an interview to say this.
It's not a lot of those artists that actually get into the songwriting, real songwriting, and move those talents over. M, one of the guys from that platform that made it to that point, like that is that strong of a writer. And he means more to music culture than people give him credit for.
Now 50 has even followed it up, stating that Eminem can handle anyone. He's even got the best diss tracks in the entire music industry.
You gotta be careful or you'll get handed to you on the track, man. Like, he'll get to you. If he's in the right headspace, he'll do it to anybody in music.
Now everyone knows that Eminem is one of the best rappers in the game. Who could forget the time that MGK switched up his entire genre of music by the time that Eminem was done with him? But 50 Cent was not finished here, as he shared this in 2014.
The one Grammy I have is for Crack a Bottle. I couldn't even have that without him. You know, and that's why I have so much value for him, one of my best friends, because I can trust that he's gonna be honest with his constructive criticism when it's time to listen to the music before it goes out.
It's great to see that even with 20 years going by since 50 Cent signed to Shady Records, these two are extremely loyal and friends to this day, as Eminem even feels the same way towards 50.
Not only like a business partner to me, it's one of the best friends I've ever known in the world. I would say that it's much more fun to be his friend than it is to be his enemy, because this guy is relentless.
But not all relationships with Eminem are friendly, as we even saw Snoop Dogg speaking on Eminem's music career. Snoop thinks Eminem had an amazing career, but he ain't in the top 10 of all time still.
Eminem in a position where he could be labeled as one of the top 10 rappers ever. I don't think so, but the game feels like he's top 10. You understand me? I ain't got no time to play with it. It is what it is. It's like, cuz did that. But when you talking about this hip hop that I can't live without, I can live without that.
Eminem responded to Snoop Dogg in his track titled Zeus, where he said, and I quote, "As far as squashing beef, I'm used to people knocking me, but just not in my camp. The last thing I need is Snoop Dogg in me. Man, dog, you was like a god to me. Nah, not really. I had dog backwards." Eminem even talked about it in a Shade 45 interview, where he said, "Everything he said, by the way, was fine up to a point. It was the last statement that he made where he said, far as music I can live without, I can live without that. Now you're being disrespectful. It just caught me off guard. I was not ready for that." Now Snoop Dogg would even respond to Eminem, where he would say, "Pray I don't answer to that soft stuff." However, he would then backtrack his words a couple of months later during an interview, where Snoop Dogg would say, "I was wrong, bro, do you forgive me?" As Eminem would then later hop on an interview saying the two resolved their issues with each other.
I don't remember if I called him or he called me, I can't remember, but
Yeah.
we talked it out, and I think that there was a miscommunication at the time in regards to him being on my album, the Mathers LP. And I think he said the way that he took it was kind of like that I don't with him.
Now after the beef was over, Eminem and Snoop Dogg would go on to perform in the Super Bowl together with other old school artists, while also releasing a single together titled From the D to the LBC, where they pay homage to their hometown cities. However, there's been multiple old school rappers that have spoken about Eminem's career, as we saw Lil Wayne and Kid Cudi talking about their experience working with Eminem.
I just was like, man, let's send it to him. You know, the worst that can happen is he doesn't. Man, I got him on the phone. I had to tell him, I was like, yo, bro, like, you destroyed it.
I mean,
you know?
I already know.
He it was like, you know, because I was nervous, because I was like, man, like, I'm like, gonna get Eminem on my song, he gonna body me on my own.
Now Wayne even went on to talk about how he made sure that Eminem didn't body him on his own song when he collaborated with Eminem.
You're probably the only person that did a record with M that they said that M didn't body. How do you
feel about that?
I can humbly say I expected that. You're not gonna do me this. Either we gonna be right here with it and just make a beautiful, wonderful, great song, but you ain't gonna do me that. And so that's what we did. Yeah, we just made a wonderful, great song. I ain't hear nobody ever say nobody by each other, nothing like that.
Now, somebody very close to Lil Wayne would also share his experiences with Eminem. This would be Toronto rapper Drake. Now, Drake was on tour and he surprised the crowd with an Eminem appearance, where he said this before they performed, giving high praise to Eminem.
Some noise for the greatest rapper to ever get on a microphone. He goes by the name of Eminem.
This would even lead into Eminem going to go work with Akon in their hit song Smack That, where Akon would reminisce on how professional and talented Eminem is in the studio.
Working with him made me look at the business different, because he was the first artist that I worked with that actually treated business like a real job. He comes in at 9 a.m. every day to the studio, takes his lunch break at 1, and is out of there by 5 p.m. First day I came around 6. I'm expecting, okay, we're gonna do an evening session, get this studio. Oh, M just left. Yo, M, where you at? He said, I'm out of here. I said, well, I'm at the studio, I just got here. You coming back? He said, I'll be back there at 9 a.m.
And this would even lead into another collaborator of Eminem, known as Nicki Minaj, where she would speak on the experience of even having the pleasure of working with one of the greats.
So I sent him one record and he didn't love it. He didn't say I didn't love it, but he just said, could you send me something that's a little bit more me? But like with M, he had the respect at least to treat me like a peer and say, you know what, I think it's, but I don't think it's me. And I just was like, I respect that so much.
Despite everyone sharing their love and highest respect for Eminem, he has also shared that for many newer rappers in the industry, such as J. Cole, Kendrick Lamar, and even Big Sean, as they have inspired him to make even better music. Where Eminem said, and I quote, "My role in today's hip-hop is to always try to be the best rapper. That's it. That's how I want to feel inside. I can't do that until I listen to what J. Cole just put out, what Kendrick Lamar just put out. And I'm thinking, oh, these dudes ain't playing. I don't want to get swept away in that shuffle. I still want everyone to know who I am." Now, while Eminem's giving these rappers their praise, they have already shared how much Eminem meant to them growing up, starting their music careers, listening to Eminem, and idolizing him their entire lives. As J. Cole had this to share about how influential Eminem was to his career.
I speak for myself. I'm such a huge Eminem fan, and especially from his first 3 albums, I was like all the way in. You know what I mean? I'm still all the way in because he's still amazing. But you know, that was a point in my life, a very pivotal point in my rap career. My first song I ever made was literally just biting Eminem and Nas.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If you go listen, you would hear both influences.
And he even followed it up saying how crazy of a fan he was of Eminem while growing up during an interview.
It's silly how big of an Eminem fan I am. You know what I mean? Like, select group of like top-notch people that I worship. You know what I mean? And that Eminem was literally at the top of that list. My first song just sounded like an Eminem bite.
And even moving into Kendrick Lamar's reaction, he said in an interview that Eminem is definitely in his top 5.
Give me J, give me M, Pac, give me Big, and give me Snoop. These are the cats that inspired me like the most.
And Kendrick Lamar even kept going, stating that his rap attributes largely came from Eminem.
The clarity, I got my clarity just studying M. But then I heard Marshall Mathers LP, I was just, how does that work? What is he doing? How is he putting his words together like that? His time is impeccable, you know? When you want to fall off, the beat is impeccable.
Now, throughout Big Sean's interview, he spoke very highly of Eminem while mentioning their collaboration song called No Favors.
You know, I think he's been back. I don't think he ever left, but I feel like Eminem throughout his whole career has just tried and been very successful, obviously, at everything. He's the biggest rapper of all time.
But this wasn't the only set of rappers that Eminem admires, as he publicly stated that he believes Jadakiss is a top 5 rapper. Jadakiss reacted to the news during an interview, describing how much it truly meant to be acknowledged by Eminem.
You know, at the end of the day, I'm just a humble person, you know what I mean? A big iconic figure like Eminem to, you know, acknowledge my work is a beautiful thing.
Now, another old school rapper in the game shared how Eminem is one of the most lyrically talented rappers to ever exist on planet Earth during an interview, even sharing how he wouldn't even want to pick an industry beef with Eminem ever.
Eminem is the only rapper that nobody ever wants a problem with, including myself, man. Eminem is like,
if he were to come at you with like a industry beef,
what would you have done?
Run. You don't want a beef with Eminem.
Now, we also spoke about how MGK and Eminem had their beef earlier on in this video. Well, this is where we saw MGK's reaction to the entire diss track in this interview.
I know your feud with Eminem. Was Eminem a hero to you? Because
yeah, for sure.
The guy's a great rapper. Does it personally, you have this feud with this guy?
I don't feel any type of way about it. I mean, I'm like asleep in my tour bus. The guy drops an album with like 3 songs consecutively talking about me.
Another rapper that started making music around the time Eminem did would be known as Rakim. He hopped on an interview with SiriusXM and said this.
Eminem like gravitates towards you more. You have more respect for lyricists or rappers or both?
And then, you know, of course, you got lyricists make us, you know, rewind the song or...
Now, he referred to Eminem being the type of rapper that makes you digest his lyrics and repeat the song to understand on what he is saying throughout the track. As even an older rapper named Redman had this to share during an interview.
I called Eminem yesterday. I talked to Eminem yesterday. Yesterday was his birthday. Happy birthday again, Em. And on how, you know, when Eminem do something, it's not just a song. It's not just a freestyle, it's a statement.
We would then even see Logic speak on his hopes of collaborating with Eminem, where he would go on and say this.
But Eminem, because he's gonna rap. So I gotta make sure I do my best to keep up.
Now, these two would actually eventually go on to make a collab song back in 2019, as Logic would state countless times that Eminem will and always be his favorite rapper of all time. Now, while it seems like all rappers just love Eminem, there's definitely a few that took their chances at dissing him. The beef between Eminem and Ja Rule, it is still pretty evident that Eminem still has harsh feelings towards Ja about, as this feud started way back when 50 Cent was first starting his own music career. Now, 50 Cent decided to talk to Ja Rule about signing to his label. Ja Rule would then laugh in 50 Cent's face, and he would even go on to diss 50 Cent as well, stating that he was just jealous and that he was the official rapper of Queens and not 50 Cent. Things between them would actually get physical, to the point where Ja Rule and 50 Cent threw hands at an Atlanta nightclub. But where does Eminem come into play? As many of you know, 50 Cent would then later sign to Eminem's record label as mentioned earlier. Eminem would release his first single titled Wanksta, which was actually directed at Ja Rule in a diss track, before diss tracks were even a thing. Ja Rule then came back with another diss titled Loose Chains, which not only went after 50 Cent, but also went after Eminem, as well as D12, G-Unit, Dr. Dre, and even Eminem's daughter.
Like, I wasn't even gonna say nothing, to be honest with you. I didn't even address them directly until like Ja had said something about Haley.
Now, Ja Rule made the mistake of mentioning Eminem's daughter, Haley. Now, Eminem decided to come back at full force, releasing 2 diss tracks on Ja Rule. The first titled Hail Mary, which featured 50 Cent and Busta Rhymes. He even then released a second track where he literally tore Ja Rule's entire character down, where this song was titled Do Re Mi. The 2 tracks tore Ja Rule to bits. Line for line, it was just straight up dissing towards the other rapper. Now, what really won fans over was Eminem during this interview when the beef was over.
But also at the same time, wanting to be a father, and if there ever comes a day that I would have to pick one or the other, you know, I already know what it would be. You know what I'm saying? I would walk away from all of this.
However, let's turn things back onto a good note. We would even see late rapper Juice WRLD speak on Eminem's legacy, as he mentioned how much Eminem meant to him and how much he changed his life growing up.
All his old, that's like a part of who I am. I wouldn't be who I am without Eminem's music.
And speaking of Juice WRLD, if you want to see how rappers reacted to Juice WRLD, click the video here on screen.